He was 7 years old the first time he talked his mother through a breakdown. He didn't know that's what it was. He just knew that his mother's voice had changed, that the crying was the kind that needed something from him. So he went in, he sat down, he found the right words. And afterward, his mother said, "I don't know what I'd do without you." He carried that sentence like a medal. He was 7. By the time he was 10, he was fluent in adult emotions. He knew which silences meant danger and which meant he could breathe. He knew how to be small when small was needed and capable when capable was needed. He knew, without being told, that his job was to make things easier. Not to be a child, to be useful. There is a specific kind of person who grows up like this. They are remarkable, genuinely. Capable, perceptive, reliable in ways that make other people feel lucky to know them. They walk into a room and within minutes they've identified who needs what. They are the one who remembers, who follows through, who makes sure things don't fall apart. And they do all of it so naturally, so effortlessly, that most people assume it's just who they are. It is who they are, but it isn't who they were born to be. It is who they learned to be before they had a choice, before they knew there was a difference, before anyone told them they were allowed to just be a child. No one told them. Psychologists call this parentification, the process by which a child takes on an adult emotional or practical role in a family system, not because they chose it, because the system needed someone to fill it, and they were there. Sensitive enough to notice, capable enough to help, old enough to be given the weight, young enough that giving them the weight felt natural. It happens in different ways. Sometimes it's obvious, a parent who was absent, addicted, or overwhelmed, a child who became the caretaker. Sometimes it's subtle, a family where emotions were the child's responsibility to manage, where being upset was treated as a problem the child created, where love came with the condition of being easy, being good, being needed, and the child learns. They learn that their value is in their function, that love is something you earn by being useful, that needing things, wanting things, asking for things is a kind of burden that risks the love. So they stop needing, or rather, they get very good at not showing it, and the not showing becomes a skill, and the skill becomes a self. Here is what this costs. The child grows up, becomes an adult, and is extraordinarily good at living, in the functional sense. But there are things they genuinely don't know how to do. Rest without purpose, receive care without discomfort, ask for something without feeling they need to justify it, be in a room without being responsible for the room. They don't know what they want often. Not in the shallow sense. They have preferences, opinions, ambitions, but in the deeper sense. What do I actually want for myself? What do I need? What would it feel like to be taken care of? These questions arrive and find not answers, but a kind of blankness. A room they never furnished because they were always furnishing everyone else's. And in relationships, this creates a specific pattern. They give generously, warmly, genuinely, but they are uncomfortable receiving. They manage, organize, make things work, but they struggle to be cared for. They are always slightly more competent than necessary, always anticipating what's needed before it's asked, because that is the original deal. That is how love was made safe. But here is what almost no one told them. The childhood they didn't get to have, it isn't gone. It is waiting. The parts of them that learn to be useful before they learn to play, those parts are still there. Still capable of rest, of lightness, of wanting something just for themselves. The weight was given to them. They did not choose it, and they are allowed now to put it down. If this was about you, you are not just your competence. You are not just the one who holds things together. You were a child who deserved to be held, who deserved to need things without apologizing, who deserved someone asking, "What do you want today?" and waiting. That child is still in you, still waiting for someone to give them that, and the first person who can is you. There is something specific that happens when someone who grew up too fast finally begins to slow down. It doesn't feel like relief at first. It feels like wrongness, like something is missing, like they're forgetting something important. Because for so long, the weight was the structure. The responsibility was how they knew they existed. Without it, even briefly, even on a Tuesday afternoon with nothing required of them, there is a strange vertigo. Who am I if I'm not useful right now? That question deserves an answer. Not a functional one, not about what they contribute or provide or manage, a real one, about who they are when the room doesn't need anything from them, about what they enjoy, what makes them laugh without effort, what they'd choose if no one was watching and no one needed anything, and the only question was, what do you want? Some of them are adults before they get to ask that question for the first time. Some of them are much older. Some of them are reading this right now. And if you are, that's where it starts. Not with fixing anything, just with asking. And for once, actually waiting for the answer.